Sometimes I think that maybe people are so used to having a bond that they share in common misery and trouble that if you don't have any active problems in your life, people don't want anything to do with you. Kind of funny, isn't it? Because people want to complain about their lives. They want to say, have you heard how much my life sucks right now? Have you heard what somebody did to me? Have you heard about all these terrible things going on? And if you're not part of that conversation, people just don't have any reason to associate with you. It seems like people, they don't want anything to do with other people's problems because they don't want to be responsible for someone else's trouble. But they also, oddly, don't want to associate with people who don't have trouble because complaining is the biggest thing that is sort of a glue that ties them together. So it's a bit of a paradox. People just kind of go through life looking for opportunities to kind of keep people at arm's length and never really get too close and always be unified by something that's a bit of a vague negative. They don't want you to complain about your life to them because they don't want to have to feel obliged to do anything for you, but they also don't want to really not complain about life because that's what gives them a sense of groundedness and value, I guess. It's a strange thing. People are conflicted creatures, I guess. I suppose that's just how it is. I do think it makes a surprising amount of sense, though, to just maybe let people be alone. Don't get too muddled up in their affairs. But no. I think I should probably work on maybe getting rid of some of my industry here. Because it kind of doesn't make sense. We have our downtown area here, sort of, and then we have this ugly industrial area right in the middle of it. But at the same time, I do kind of like it because it has a certain random, organic look to it. It's not exactly what you'd expect, and so it's therefore a little bit kind of cool looking to me, I think. I think we'll expand our beachfront all along this whole area here. That would be quite nice. Oh dear. Yeah, Looks like we have another fire breaking. Do not have enough fire services. They're spreading quite rapidly. Quite obnoxious. So much for that police station. Got blown up. Thankfully the fire didn't last for too long though. Oh dear. Now we have riots happening. People are protesting. Because they don't like the rubble and burned up buildings, I guess. It's alright. Looks like they've settled down. Well, look at that. There's a prison. We could build a prison. You know what? That's what we're going to do. To replace the police station, only this time it's going to be a prison. Waterfront prison. Right there. Yes, indeed. But you know, I really do think that if you talk to people who are pretty old and pretty established in their lives, what you'll find is quite often the people who have seen a lot and they've gone through a lot, if you tell them about your problems, they're probably going to sort of always go back to acting like it's not a very big deal. They're going to say life is filled with blessings and everything happens for a reason and things like that. And they won't really be too fired up about any one particular thing that's happened. And then I think the more people are fixated on, I guess, a sense of youthfulness, a desire to make sure that their life has meaning. Young people, middle-aged people who haven't seen that much, I guess, in life, tend to think that they have more perspective than they really do. And the truth is, it's alright if things don't work out the way you want them to, because the whole world doesn't revolve around you. You know, if I die tomorrow, that's alright. It's not going to be the end of the world. The world will go on, whether I do or not. You know, does any of this stuff really matter that much? Is it worth being so upset about something that doesn't quite go my way? I wouldn't say so. When you let go of these things and you're more at peace with all of it, then I think a lot of things tend to work out. Because you're not so desperate. It's kind of like driving a car, you know. The worst driver in the world is probably the kid who's never drove before. So obsessed with driving well, but has no experience in actually driving. And a good driver is probably going to be a lot more casual, a lot less worried about it, a lot less interested, but also a lot safer because they've seen it before. You know, I have to say that disaster music in Theotown starts to be a bit obnoxious after a while. But that's alright. So in summary, I guess, just make your way through life and don't worry too much about the outcomes. Try to make good decisions along the way, certainly. Don't worry too much about it, because we are small creatures in the great scheme of things, after all. Alright if things don't go our way sometimes. And it's a lot more flattering when you learn to be at peace with life when it doesn't go your way. I suppose it's easy to be a bastion of responsibility and wisdom when things are going the way you want them to. Like they say, it's the smooth sailing in the safe harbor doesn't really mean very much, you know? It's always easier said than done, though, to find peace in chaos when it really starts to heat up and life seems like it just never stops throwing something at you. But it's real important to find peace with life, because you're going to have to make peace with life sooner or later. I think sometimes you have to just make an ultimatum with yourself that whether I feel okay or not, I am okay. And I'm not going to let that be a negotiable. I'm going to be okay no matter what. No matter how I feel, I'm going to understand. Life is beautiful and it's full of blessings. And I won't entertain any other ideas. From here on out, I'm going to be a grateful person. I'm going to be a thankful person. I'm going to see good in the world, and good in my life, and good in other people, and good in the opportunity to serve. Meanwhile, we have yet another epidemic happening. In this case, the epidemic seems to be happening right next to a hospital. A bit ridiculous, isn't it? Cemeteries are full. Clean them up. Very good. We're going to finish up our little park here while we're at it. Sometimes when somebody says, you know, what do you make of life? What's your take on it all? I have to just say, you know, I don't have any take on it at all. It just is what it is. fire department out here, don't we? Well, there we are. We have a nice little park surrounded by homes. We have our new beach area. This whole little peninsula here is filling up quite nicely, I think. I think that's a good place to stop off. Till next time, thank you for watching.